This video is going to cover the second major essay for this class. It is going to be a researched argument essay on food. Yes, who doesn't like to think about, talk about, write about food? So stop for a minute and think about the last thing that you had to eat. What was it? Do you know who made it, who grew it, who processed it, who produced it, where any of those things happened? Lots of times we can't answer a lot of those questions. Food is a necessity of life. People spend a lot of their days thinking about it, worrying about it. Many people around the world don't have access to or the ability to get good quality food. Even when there's a lot of food, the choices that we make about what we eat can have moral and ethical implications, much less health implications. Moral and ethical implications, think vegetarianism. Should we eat meat? Is it ethical to kill animals? What about fair prices to the people who grow the crops? Or fair wages and treatment for the people who are out in the fields doing harvesting? All of those things are considerations about food. Beyond that, there is the more emotional connections with food, how food represents culture, what foods we eat at particular times. We've just come through the holidays. Are there particular things that you eat? Are those based in your culture? You're going to think about these things, and we're going to be doing readings from The Insider's Guide, Chapter 13, which is all about food. Some of the articles that are in there and will be assigned. You'll be assigned to read Gustav Arellano's Taco USA, How Mexican Food Became More American Than Apple Pie. You'll be assigned to read Michael Pollan's article, Why Cook? And then Genetically Modified Food and Perspective. So you can see these are all different sorts of issues. We've got culture, we've got doing things for ourselves versus buying processed food, and then genetically modified food. On top of readings from Chapter 13, you will also be assigned a number of videos. There will be a set of videos on vegetarianism. There will be a set of videos on food waste, which is a big issue. What it comes down to is you will need to choose one issue connected with food and discuss it. You are going to explain who the different people are who are connected with this issue, what those different people think about it, what are their points of view. And then in the end, you are going to argue for what you see as the most reasonable point of view on your issue. So to give specifics, you will need to choose at least one credible source that defines the issue. You will need to describe the whole conversation, analyze the language that people are using so you can talk about the bias that's brought to discussions on this issue, and then you'll need to take a stand. For any of these parts of your essay, you can use any of the assigned articles or any of the assigned videos as sources if you choose to write about those things. So for example, if you choose to write about food waste, you can refer to the videos that you'll be watching about food waste. Those could be used as sources. In terms of specifications, you will need to end up with 6 to 7 pages, Times New Roman, 12-point font. You will need 4 sources total, and these sources can come from, as I said, our textbook, our library, .gov, websites, newspapers. If you use things like encyclopedias or dictionaries, those are valid, but they don't count as sources in terms of the 4-source requirement. So I would recommend you start thinking about reading, looking ahead. This is a big project. You need to find an issue that interests you. You need to start doing research on it. And, if that research involves eating a bunch of stuff, good on you. Let's go write a research paper on food.